Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing okay. Hope you are fine. Welcome back to our space for weight loss, Dr.Majo space for weight loss. My name is Dr. Marjorie and I'm back again with another video. For those who have just come in, thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for coming around. Please don't leave without subscribing. I'm begging, I'm asking you kindly. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me give you a few seconds to subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. We are back again with another video. We talk about all things weight management, how we are going to fight disease and illness through managing our weight, through physical exercise and good eating habits and all those things. If you're interested in such topics, you are in the right place. Thank you so much for coming and stay around. So this is our third video on this channel, and as I promised last time, that this time around we are going to talk about the complications of obesity and why it is urgent and why it is important for all of us to manage our weights. Those who have subscribed and those who are subscribing very soon, we know that our channel is mainly an educational channel where we learn about all things weight management, weight loss, obesity and all those things, everything regarding weight and all that. So today, our main issue today, as I've promised last time, that today we are going to talk about the complications of obesity and overweight and all those things, and since they are many, I'm going to cut the video into two. So this week we're going to have part 1 and next week we shall have part 2. Yes, so the complications of obesity. First of all, as I had explained earlier, I want to just recap a few things that if someone is asking yourself what is obesity, please go back to the other previous video and you watch again and understand what we mean by obesity. So if you've gone back to watch that video and you've understood what we mean by obesity, you've understood what we mean by being overweight, you understood what we mean by someone being of normal weight, someone being of underweight and all those things, what we mean by morbidly obese, all these things are in the last or the most previous video. So you go back and watch that video and continue to follow the channel. Yes, so today, as we're going to talk about the complications of obesity, one of the complications of obesity, one of the most common, or one of the commonest complications of obesity is what we call diabetes mellitus. Yes, diabetes mellitus, that is mainly type 2. Yes, in simple terms, in how we understand it in our country or in our nation, in our culture, is what people call sukari or diabetes. Yes, so there are two types. We shall not go so much into the details, but what we should know is mainly obesity predisposes us to type 2 diabetes. So how does, someone may ask me, how does obesity predispose someone to what, to diabetes or to sukari, as what we call it in our culture, is how does obesity predispose us to diabetes? We know, in simple terms, diabetes, this is when our blood glucose or blood sugars are not controlled, so they are high. This is because when we are obese or overweight, the capacity or the sensitivity of our bodies to respond to a hormone that was created by God to reduce those sugars reduces, so you no longer respond, or your capacity to respond to that hormone reduces when you're obese or overweight, so the sugars spike up, and that is when the disease come in. So that is one of the complications of obesity. So if you're obese or if you're overweight, you're at a higher chance. Even when you're young, people think that these diseases are for old people. My dear, no. I've seen 40-year-olds, I've seen late 30-year-olds with this type 2 diabetes because of being overweight. So not to scare you, not to scare myself, I know, because I'm also on the journey, as I've shared earlier, Yes, but we need to control our weight, because such diseases, we are at a higher risk of such diseases. So the second complication, the second commonest, or the second one of the commonest complications of obesity and overweight is what we call hypertension or pressure, what most people know it as pressure. Hypertension, this is when you have uncontrolled high blood pressure. This is when the pressure of our blood, of your blood that moves, the pressure at which blood passes through the vessels in the body is increased. Yes, so when you're obese or when you're overweight, you're at a higher risk of getting or contracting hypertension or pressure. And this is really, here I'm talking as a doctor, this is something that is rampant in our society, especially us in the urban settings. In Kampala, you find very young women, very young men with hypertension when because of weights. Yes, so that is another complication. The third complication I would like to talk about is heart disease, because heart disease, first of all, can come in as a complication of the hypertension. So hypertension does not come alone. It comes with heart disease. It can destroy, it can cause the heart to fail. That is number one. Also, when we are overweight or when we are obese, there are fats that are deposited on our heart walls, and this also causes our hearts to fail in its work. In simple terms, yes, that is another or a third complication of obesity. So the fourth complication of obesity that I would like to talk about is what we call the fatty liver disease, or the liver disease. Many people have gone to the hospital whereby there is fats that deposited around their livers. The liver is what we call a chibumba. So there is fat around that is deposited around. You know, when someone is overweight or when someone is obese, you know, the fat is not only here but also within us, within inside the body organs that are inside, there is also fat. So this fat surrounds the liver, and really this fat that surrounds the liver jeopardizes the liver's function. And such people, I've met also such people who are having fatty liver disease. And fatty liver disease can lead to cancer, liver cancer. They can also lead to liver cirrhosis. So yes, surely it's a really very dangerous complication as well. So another complication that I'll talk about, when the first four that I've talked about, you realize that honestly, when your obesity and overweight affects major organs in our bodies, and also it affects almost everywhere. Realize at the end of this series, the part 2 series, you realize that every part of the body is affected when we are overweight or when we are obese. So it's really a call upon us all. It's the reason I started this channel, basically to talk about these things, to educate you people, to educate the masses. And as I'm also trying to learn these things, trying to put into practice what I'm sharing with you people. Yes,